slime. Everybody likes to play with it, but did you know how useful it is? Really useful for all kinds of creatures, even people. Let's learn about how slime works in nature. Grossology, slime at work. It's not just for play. It's slippery, it's stringy, it's gooey, it's runny. Some people think it's funny, but it's snot, also known as mucus. Mucus, also known as snot, may seem gross, but it's very important. Most of us know that we have it inside our nose and mouth. But did you know that it goes down your throat, into your stomach, and all through your intestines? And it's in other places like the lungs and in cavities around your organs. And anything on your body that's not protected by skin but exposed to the outside is covered by mucus. Take your tongue and stick it on the inside of your cheek. That's a mucous membrane, and it's covered by mucus. Let's look at some of the ways that mucus protects us. If you breathe in dust or pollen, something that might make you allergic, or a virus or even bacteria, mucus surrounds it and traps it. It contains antibodies or enzymes that kill bacteria and viruses. Everything is then swallowed and brought into the stomach, where it's destroyed by stomach acid. So we know how mucus can protect us, but it also helps in the way the body functions. It does that by lubricating or making things slippery. For example, try to imagine talking with a dry tongue, or eating crackers, very dry crackers, with a dry mouth, and then swallowing them with nothing in your throat. Or imagine trying to move your eyeballs in dry sockets. It would be pretty difficult and painful. You may be surprised when you find out just how much mucus the adult body produces a day. This is 1 quart. Believe it or not, that's how much your body produces in 1 day. A whole quart of mucus. But if you think about it, you've got 30 feet of digestive tract. You've got your organs, the organ cavities that need to be protected. You've got your eyes, your nose that need to be protected. So a quart seems like a lot, but it's necessary. The color of your mucus can tell you a lot about your health. Look at the bottle on the upper left. That's healthy mucus. It's pretty clear. When you start to get sick, though, it might turn yellow. That's because white blood cells, the soldiers who fight your sickness, are coming to do battle, and when they die, they turn yellow. If you're quite sick, your mucus will start to turn green. That's because there are so many white blood cells fighting the battle, and along with other waste products from the battle, it'll turn green. Your mucus can also give hints about where you live, your habits, or even what you do for a living. The jar in the bottom far left contains mucus of an urban dweller. That's somebody who lives in a city, and cities can have a lot of pollution and soot that can get breathed in and trapped in your mucus. The jar in the middle contains mucus from a smoker or a coal miner. Both smoking and coal mining are not good for your health. Finally, the jar on the far right contains mucus of someone with lung cancer, a very serious disease.
Okay.
Oh, wait a minute. Before you sneeze, what are you going to do to block it? You could do this, but if you get it on your hands and then you touch someone else, they might touch their nose or mouth and get sick. So the best way to cover a sneeze, if you don't have a handkerchief, is in the crook of your arm like this. That way, you're less likely to touch somebody with that. The sneeze is a powerful thing. Look at the picture of the person sneezing. You can see mist and droplets going everywhere. Big drops can travel about 6.5 feet. Smaller drops can travel about 26 feet. And tiny droplets can be suspended in a cloud that can float up and stay there for up to 10 minutes. So it's really important to cover your mouth when you sneeze. How far the big drops travel when you sneeze. So that was 6.5 feet. So from here to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, here. So if you were standing at the end, or if I sneezed, the big drops would hit you if you're at the end of the measuring tape. But the little drops can go 26 feet, and that's a long way. That's as long as this measuring tape goes. So like I said, sneezes are powerful. Not only can they travel far, but they can travel fast. They can travel over 75 miles per hour. The speed limit here is 65. They might be going 65 or a little faster. Whatever the case, it's pretty fast. We've seen how mucus works in people. Now let's see how mucus and other kinds of slime work in other animals and plants. One kind of creature that produces a mucus-like substance called mucin is the snail, and this is one that I found climbing up my house. Look at the hole in the snail on the right. Do you see something kind of hanging off the house and attached to the shell? That's the mucin, only it's hard. Snails like to come out at nighttime or when it's raining. That's because it's humid and it's moist. And that's good for them and their slime. The slime helps them move, and it protects their bodies from getting dried out. It also helps them to climb and to stick to things so they don't fall off, even if they're upside down. During the day when it's not as moist, the slime dries up, and it blocks the hole and protects the animal inside from intruders that might want to eat it. If you go outside when it's raining or very early in the morning, you might see what I saw in my neighborhood, a little snail moving along the sidewalk. This is a slug. It's like a snail, but it doesn't have a shell, and it produces mucin too. The slug, like the snail, uses mucin to be able to climb on the undersides of leaves or straight up and down without falling. The mucin is also like a cushion, so the slug can travel over rough places. Scientists are very interested in the properties of mucin. In fact, some of them are trying to figure out how it can be used as a surgical adhesive, a kind of glue that can help heal up a wound or a cut after an operation. Here's something else that you might see on an early morning, especially when the sun is just coming up. There are trails from slugs or snails, and they're kind of silvery mucin trails. Another way that people are using mucin is in cosmetics, because it's thought to make the skin soft. This is a plant that contains its own goo called aloe. Aloe has been used throughout history, and it's still used today to help with dry skin, healing burns, and soothing sunburns. Some people drink aloe vera juice to help with digestion. Let's break open a piece and see what we find. Yeah, there's the goo. You can squeeze it right out. And as I said, it's very popular even in today's products. Here's some soap that has aloe as one of the ingredients. We saw how slime kept snails and slugs from drying out, but they can also keep eggs from drying out. Here are some frog eggs, and the clear part is a gel that protects the black part, which is the actual egg. I wonder if that's what the white part is in the chicken egg. I'll have to look that up. Did you know that frogs breathe through their skin and absorb water through it as well? Mucus keeps the frog's skin moist. It also contains chemicals that kill bacteria and fungus, so the frog stays healthy. I've always heard that sharks can smell blood, but that's actually not true. They have special sacs filled with gel that allows them to sense many things like blood. Those sacs are called ampullae of Lorenzini. And what they do is detect voltage or electrical fields that all living creatures produce. That gel is called electroreceptive. Have you ever felt the side of a fish? Chances are it was pretty slimy, but that slime helps protect the fish. This fish, the parrotfish, goes one step further. Before going to sleep, it burps a big bubble of slime that will surround it all night and protect it from parasites. Nighty-night! Like the snail and the slug, the earthworm uses slime for traveling or locomotion. Dirt and sand can be pretty dry, so that slime can help the earthworm to keep moving, and it also might help its tunnels to keep from collapsing. True or false? Worms may use slime to communicate. Believe it or not, it's true. When a worm feels stressed out, it produces something called a pheromone, a special scent that leaves a message for other worms. When other worms come upon the trail of the stressed worm, they can sense it, and they don't want to follow that trail. It might lead to danger. This large lizard is the Komodo Dragon. Not only is its mouth full of bacteria, but the gooey slime in it can paralyze its prey, leaving them unable to move and ready for him to eat for dinner. Remember how the slime from the earthworm helped to keep its tunnels intact and not falling down? Well, this creature uses slime to build too. This is the southern sand octopus that lives off the coast of Australia. One way that the octopus protects itself is to build a room underneath the sand. In order to keep the room from collapsing, the octopus uses slime, the mucus, like a kind of plaster, and puts it all over the walls so it'll stay up. It pokes a little hole for breathing, and it's safe from its predators. Slime. It can protect, it can help with travel, it can hurt, it can heal, it can help to communicate, and it can be used for building. So, think about that the next time you play with this.